On Big Minds, we encourage reading. That's why we always have Wangare the storyteller, who always speaks interesting story for us. Today, we read about a boy who cried wolf.
The story that I will share with you today is from a series of stories told by a man many, many years ago. And this man was called Aesop, and he came from Greece. And in fact, he shared so many of these stories that they still bear his name to this day. They are called Aesop's Fables. And today, I will share with you one of those fables. It is quite a famous one, and maybe, just maybe, you already know this story. But you know what? A good story is never told or read once. It is shared over and over and over again. And I hope that you will enjoy it. The story we read today is from this book called Wolf Fables. And we read the second story in the book. It is called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Everyone knows wolves are dangerous. They hunt in packs, and it is not just lambs that they kill. Can you see these wolves? Can you see their sharp teeth? Everyone knows about the wolf that tricked Little Red Riding Hood, right? And tried to eat the 3 little pigs. Everyone knows that wolves are not to be trusted. But once upon a time, there was a young shepherd boy. His job was to look after the villagers' flock of sheep. And every morning, he took the flock out to graze in the hills. And every evening, he took them back home again. Well, during the day, there was not much to do. The sheep chewed the grass. The lambs bleated at each other, and the ram slept. Well, you can imagine that the little boy was quite bored. And people say that the devil makes work for idle hands, right? And this time, he stirred up a whole cauldron of trouble. The boy decided that he was going to play a trick. He ran down the hill shouting, "Wolf! Wolf!" At once, all the villagers came out to protect their flock. The boy ran and hid behind a rock. He laughed at the burly baker, the blacksmith, the red-faced butcher, and the women as they ran up the hill. They were shouting and waving their arms, trying to chase off a wolf that didn't exist. In fact, the boy thought that it was so funny that he did it again and again and again. Each time, he pretended that the wolf had run away. It wasn't long before the villagers were fed up, and they decided that the boy was tricking them. Now, tricks can turn into trouble as sure as snow melts in the sun. And one day, a pack of wolves did come stalking out in the forest. They had eyes of fire and were so thin that their ribs showed through their fur. I would definitely not like to meet such kind of wolves in a forest when I am alone and I have sheep with me. The boy screamed, "Wolf! Wolf!" But no one came. The blacksmith stopped with his hammer raised high. He listened to the boy's screams, "Wolf! Wolf!" and just shook his head. The women working in the fields tooted, and they carried on with their work. The baker muttered, "That shepherd boy is up to his tricks again." They all ignored the boys scream. Later that day, the shepherd boy returned to the village. There were no sheep with him bleating, just silence. The wolves had taken all the sheep. The shepherd boy had played the fool once too often, and now he had made a fool of himself. And that's it, even with us today. If you keep on lying every so often, no one will ever believe you, even on the day that you decide to tell the truth. An important lesson to learn from our story today. And you know what? This amazing book with different stories, I only read one story from this book, but it has many other stories, can be found at Maktaba Kuu, the children's section, and the library. This library is found in Upper Hill, right here in Nairobi. So you don't need an excuse to not go out and check out your library. Check if there is a library near you. You can also check your school's library, and you can also ask your parents the next time they want to buy for you a gift. It doesn't always have to be pizza or chocolate or new shoes or a dress. They can also buy you a book as a gift. Well, that's all from me today. Until next time, bye and have fun.